So yeah, it's the last week of school. I wanted to just give you an overview of our year, tell you what was amazing, what was not so amazing, what we're doing for next year, since it was kind of up in the air for me as to what I was going to be doing. Am I going to be continuing homeschool? Am I going to be going back to work full time? What is that? I got this shirt thrifted from Plato's Closet, and this is the first time I'm wearing it. Do you like it? It's a Nike shirt. I paid like $2 for it. It's up in the air myself as to, do I want to continue homeschooling? I kept getting confirmation after confirmation after confirmation that I was supposed to keep going. So I am going to keep going, but I'm going to tell you at the end of this video what we are doing. I have two options that are in the running. What worked this year? Okay, so Spectrum worked for us this year. Now, some kids are not workbook people or workbook kids, and that's fine. Some kids like to be more kinesthetic, more hands-on, maybe watch videos or music or art, and that's what makes this thing so wonderful, is that you can just be doing a whole bunch of things. Eiley is kind of an all-in-one type of chick where she can do a multitude of things. She thrives through music and art. Thrives. And for kindergarten, we did a lot of that. Like every day we had an art project. She thrived. She loved it. She absolutely loved it. We learned a lot of our things through music. This year we took a step back from art, and not really on purpose. It just happened where the second half of the year we really haven't done a whole lot of art things. And that's a regret of mine, to be honest. But to be honest, art takes a lot of planning, a lot of materials, a lot of time. And when I was more focused on getting some hardcore things done, some foundational things done, I should have taken the time and breathed and did more art things, because she really loves that and I really didn't do that. For the first half of the year we did more art. We went to an art museum and it was really cool because we studied famous artists, and one in particular was Van Gogh. We studied Picasso, and we went to an art museum and it was really cool. We took some pictures of her standing beside a painting by Vincent Van Gogh. And it was really cool because it just brought art to life for us. So I like to do things like that with her, and I fell short the last half of the year. So that's a regret of mine. Music is always kind of flowing throughout our program, in and out. If you don't know, I'm in church and I do a lot of music-centric things. I sing on the praise team. I've directed the choir. I've done plays for the church that have a lot of music in it. I've been singing for years and years and years and years and years. I played the piano, I played the drums, I played a little bit of the organ. I love the violin, I love orchestras, I love symphonies, I love soundtracks. So I'm constantly delving and playing with music. At the beginning of the year, I would have certain YouTube videos that would teach her how to do certain scales and to recognize music and scales and stuff like that. And I would dedicate time out of our schedule so that she can do that. And unfortunately, I didn't dedicate the time out of our schedule so that she could do that the second half of the year. So I think the running theme is that I start off the first 4 months of school and I'm like, let's do 50,000 things. Let's do music and art and English and writing and reading and math, geography, history. And I start off with that. And then I kind of get burnt out like around January, February. And I'm like, let's just stick to the foundations. So I had to figure out for second grade how I can implement all those things and not get burnt out. Or maybe I do like a month focus on a particular type of music style and then I take a break and then I come back to it instead of just kind of dropping it all together. So that's not good. But let's go back to Spectrum. So for Spectrum, this really worked for us. So these are just the 3 books that we used. So I purchased this the beginning of our year because she was struggling with writing. And what I mean by that is she was struggling with like writing stories and being confident in her spelling and just pushing past that, even if the spelling is wrong, just pushing past it anyways, and writing me a story. So this book was phenomenal because it talked about all the elements of writing, the introduction, the middle, the end, comparing and contrasting how to stay on topic, how to write a letter, let me see, what a conclusion is, what a beginning is, that kind of thing. So it was really good. Would I get this particular writing piece again? Probably not. Because I really just want her to focus on creative writing a story that kind of makes sense, and also, drawing pictures with it. For the math, this is second grade math. We got the first grade math and we went all the way through it. We were done first grade by February, I want to say, and I went right ahead and ordered the second grade one. Now we're halfway through this, and I decided to stop on chapter 4. I think there's 8 chapters. I'm sorry. I stopped on chapter 4, and then I'm going to actually finish the rest of the 4 chapters this summer. So when she goes into September, into second grade, she'll be done with second grade math and ready to start third grade math, even though technically she's in second grade. Does that make any sense? I love this Spectrum books because it repeats concepts over and over and over again. Reading, I love this, and the reason why I wanted this is because I kept printing off those comprehension checks, and what I meant by that is that she'd read a story and then answer questions according to the story, and I got tired of that, so I went and I found this, and this is just as amazing, where there's a story on this side and then there's questions on this side. Again, I cannot promote this enough. Online on Amazon, it's like $8. For second grade, there's 2 options for me. The first option is to put her in Abeka, and Abeka is highly recommended, except it just costs a pretty penny, between $600 and $800. And the reason why I wanted to go with something like Abeka, that's one of the options, is because everything is mapped out for me. So this is only my second year homeschooling, but I've been pulling everything myself, making sure the curriculum is where she needs to be. Love it if it were just ready for me, so she can go on the computer and do her work for the day. And if there's something extra, like a spelling test or something like this that I really want her to do to increase her education, then I can do that, but everything is mapped out for me. And there's also like a test at the end of the year that you can send in and they grade for you, and that is attractive to me. The second option that I'm thinking is to kind of do what I'm doing already, except sticking with one, not pulling from multiple resources, which is what I've been doing, but sticking with one curriculum in a sense, for lack of a better word. So I would go back to Spectrum, and for second grade, or I would go back to Spectrum and I would choose everything on Spectrum and have it be very workbook heavy. The thing with that is that I will be doing things with her in the morning, or Becca in the morning, and probably out of a 5-day week, 3 days out of the week, we're going to be going out and doing education outside, or activities outside. So whether that's dance, gymnastics, swimming, whatever. So I'm going to be focusing a lot more next year on community education. So finding groups in my community that I could kind of share and pass the load around. So I don't mind educating, and I don't mind Riley going to somewhere else to be educated as well. This year we were blessed to be able to go to the library a lot, do a lot of parks, swimming. We got like a temporary membership at the YMCA, and she loves to swim, and so do I. So we got to be able to do that and meet people that way. So that was great. But next year I want to be a little bit more structured in my approach, where Mondays we do swimming, Tuesdays we go to the library, Wednesdays we do dance class, Thursdays we go to an art class, I don't know, or music or something. And that's another thing. I really want to be able to outsource her music and art, if that makes sense. Even though I like music and art and I'm involved in that in my daily life, I'd like her to be able to get instruction from somebody else with a lot more experience and a lot more expertise, if that makes any sense. So that's kind of my plan for second grade. My next video is going to talk about what we're going to do this summer. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.